You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your early edition spoilers for December 16th through the 20th. Looks like Jordan is outed, Phyllis spirals, and Kyle is weak. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and as we always do on early edition day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week just to set the context for spoilers for next week. We have a few. I'm excited to tell you about them. If you're not following us, please reach down, click subscribe. Let's start with the action on Wednesday, December 11th. So Victor gripes to Michael about Jack putting Glissade back together. He feels very angry that his own trick was turned around on him, and Victor is not going to let him get away with it. He's still upset about the night of debauchery, you know, that word he loves. Michael advises that he let it go and just stop chasing revenge on Jack. Of course, he won't. Nick stops by to update his dad, Victor, about Sharon and the PCP in her medications, and he said it was done quite intentionally to make her lose control, and he says the GCPD is busy working to find out who did it. Victor vows to dismantle Jabot from the inside and will not let Jack gloat. But again, Michael says, just drop it, you know. Sharon arranges for Alan Laurent to hypnotize her, as I figured she would. He is an expert in the field. Nick and Faith worry that it either will not work or will cause her to backslide with her bipolar because things just won't go well, won't give her the answers she needs, and may raise more bad feelings. Lauren tells Phyllis she's very sorry for doubting her about Sharon, and Phyllis makes clear that they need Sharon to be punished. Meanwhile, because they are at Crimson Lights, you know, the coffee shop she owns, Sharon overhears Phyllis and Lauren and heard Phyllis saying that she doesn't remember Sharon behind the wheel in the car that hit her. Phyllis blows up at Sharon, and Sharon is very upset, thinking that Phyllis is going to intentionally lie. And Michael breaks in, stops the fight, and when Phyllis stalks out, Lauren confirms to her honey that yes, Phyllis is unsure about who crashed into her car. So definitely some questions being raised. This is going to help bolster Michael's case on behalf of Sharon. Jack tells Billy that he and Diane fake the breakup to beat Victor and get Kyle out of his clutches. Billy still wants revenge for them taking Chancellor and turning Jill against him. Jack advises him to let it go and offers him a job at Jabot, but Billy doesn't want handouts and he's very upset. Diane and Kyle get busy bonding. He admits that he did her wrong at Jabot and apologizes, and then Kyle gets a text and takes off. Diane and Billy have a conversation, and she has an idea that might keep him out of trouble because he's so obsessed with Victor and revenge. Jack is at Society when Victor sits down with him and congratulates Jack on besting him. Kyle shows up and sees them talking and pulls a face. Looks like Victor might have sent that text to Kyle. He's definitely not done using Jack's son. Thursday, December 12th, Lily has to make a tough decision. Devon and Nate want her back at Winners. She's still upset about Chancellor, and there's a question of where she will land, hopefully with family, and she can still, you know, make revenge on Victor and Nikki a hobby. Audra has a promise for Nate. She promises to be there for him while he goes through the search for Damien, his half-brother, and we are going to have Thelma Hopkins back as private investigator Denise Tolliver, who has worked with Devon before, and he recommended her to Nate. Victor tests Claire's loyalty. He plans to again use Kyle against Jack, and she might be the key. Maybe Victor is going to leak some info through her to Kyle to destabilize Jabot, and, you know, he just can't let it go and thinks that Kyle might be his inside man. Friday, December 13th, we've got Nate making a big request. He talks to Lily and Devon and Abby before Audra join them. They are at Society chatting, and Nate wants them to give Audra another chance. He says that she's sticking around. He's not going to, I think, ask again for her to come to work at Winters. They consider his offer. Basically, he just wants them to accept her in his life socially, not as a business person. Sally thinks about her feelings for Billy, whether she might be falling for him, whether this is just strictly a rebound, a friends with benefits situation. Is there any potential with him? According to Adam, the answer is no. Sharon and this whole situation is a huge test for Phyllis and Michael's friendship. Earlier this week, during the showdown at Crimson Lights, where Michael is defending Sharon and found out that Phyllis isn't sure she was driving the car, Phyllis told Michael they are done. And I wonder if he will appeal to her better angels after they get results from Sharon's hypnosis. All right, going into the week of December 16th through the 20th, Summer keeps targeting Claire. She definitely is trying to sabotage her and Kyle's new relationship. And this could be the perfect opportunity for Ian, because Jordan demanded that Ian target Claire, and he's got to do something. He's got to put something into play. So I suspect he might pit her against Summer so that she will lose Kyle, because that's part of what Jordan wants done. She wants the trust fund Nepo baby, as she called him, away from Claire. Sharon's hypnosis session with Alan should be revelatory. Is she going to remember Jordan being there and seeing Jordan kill Heather? Will Jordan mention Ian's name in front of Sharon, thinking she won't remember anything or take a call from him? We'll see. Adam still wants to help Sharon, and I just wonder if she may recover any memories that mention Ian, maybe something that Adam could help her deal with. Phyllis does not care that Sharon was drugged with PCP, and she is not going to believe these recovered memories that come out of her hypnosis session, and of course, they're not going to be admissible in court. And Phyllis may be frustrated when Daniel and other people start to believe them. Phyllis is already upset that Daniel completely believes the PCP thing, because he definitely thinks Sharon was acting quite unlike herself. And if Sharon comes out of this hypnosis with Alan and tells them it was Jordan that killed Heather, there's going to be huge doubts, because the immediate answer is going to be, no, it couldn't have been her. She is in prison. Billy and Diane may team up to run Jabot Classic together. That may appeal to Billy because it'll be in honor of his dad, John Abbott. And since he and Jill just had a falling out, reconnecting with his dad's memory, might be healing for him. It might help focus Billy and distract him from this whole Victor issue. And Kyle may indeed fall for Victor's follow-on plan to make him doubt his dad, Jack. Seeing Victor with Jack can instill some doubts and make Kyle start questioning things again. And then if Victor can use Claire, then he can crack this wide open again. I don't know about you guys. I'm tired of Victor winning.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.